All right, we're going live as soon as it processes.
We are live.
Go
What's up,
49ers.
everybody?
We beat the sheep.
Tonight's our reaction show. We got David here and Wolf here and me, and it's just another great day. Victory Monday. This is 2 weeks in a row, so we're trying to make it a third game in a row. Third is the charm, but this week is a very special week. It's a Thursday night game, so um, definitely be checking the stands when the camera goes around the stadium. You might see a face or two that you might recognize. There's going to be a bunch of us out there. It's going to be a great game. But more importantly, guys, how do you feel? Wolf, thanks for coming. David, throw it to you. And let's talk about these 49ers, or San Francisco 49ers. And let's talk about these 49ers.
Whoa. Gotta turn that down. Now, so at this point in time, we beat the sheep. It's nothing new. I don't think they've actually beat us in the regular season since 2018. And at this point, the Rams are who I would say they are who we thought they are, but no one knows who they are because of all the rookies and second year players that haven't hit the field, and no one really knows their habits and their weaknesses. And right now they're playing, good football. I'd say they beat Seattle at Seattle, but McVay actually owns Pete Carroll. So that's again not a uncommon thing to happen. But here we are. We beat them. McVay kicking the field goal at the end. NFL needs to investigate that. They really need to investigate that. You go suspending players and banning owners and stuff for betting. You really need to investigate that. But here we are, 2-0. We're everyone was worried about the slow start. The slow start did cost us the number 1 seed last year. But 2-0 is not bad. What do you think, Wolf?
Man, okay, so for one, I'd like to point out that the 49ers Steelers, I didn't get to really talk to you guys about that one. So week 1 was not a big shocker to me. I know I commented, I kept the receipts. One thing I said was because I noticed a lot of 49ers content creators had earned the Steelers had earned their respect. And I understand the analytics part of it, but for me, I was like, man, we're giving them way too much respect for what? When was the last time they were in the playoffs and the championship or anything like that? So you got to show me first. Then I'll give you that pat on the back, give you that respect. Now the 49ers, the team, that's a different, different something they got to handle. They can't take the Steelers as lightly as I can, but I kind of knew what to expect. I predicted 31-17 going into that game, and that was with I was expecting like a garbage time touchdown possibly. So I predicted 31-17 for that. Now when it comes to the Rams, that one I was a little off. I didn't think they were going to score as much as they would, that they would be as efficient on offense. But to be fair, in my opinion, the 49ers were playing the softest coverage I've ever seen in my life, I swear. It's like they were in prevent defense the whole damn game. Well, up until halftime, I should say. Then they started making the adjustments. I was glad to see them press a little more and add some more pressure to the mix because I was pulling my hair out waiting for that to happen because they were just letting the Rams take anything and everything underneath. And that's why, and I don't want to start talking about everything all at once and go through all our topics in 5 minutes. But that's part of the reason that guy Nakua was going off. That I will say. But I'm very happy, man. 2-0. Brock Purdy could have put it away sooner. And we'll get into that conversation. I'll tell you guys on my theory why Brock Purdy is missing some of those throws. We haven't talked about that yet. Brian, on to you, my good sir.
Yeah, okay, so Pittsburgh game was really not an eye opener, but it was really, really awesome to see our guys come out and play that well. Not that I was in disbelief that they couldn't, but just the whole traveling across the country, the whole, the Steelers don't lose at home, all that good stuff, the terrible towels, but I know our team travels well, our fans are faithful, they travel well. It was really neat to see. But it's almost like you look at what happened with Pittsburgh and then you look at what happened with the Rams. The defense was definitely different because the opposing offenses. You do have the Rams who have a Super Bowl winning quarterback who goes to blows with the Niners quite a bit and knows how to dink and dunk, right? Where you're playing Kenny Pickett and he's not a scrub. Kenny Pickett's a good quarterback, but he definitely got a little jarred and rattled from the 49ers in the first game. We give them they went 5 3-and-outs to start the game, and they only started to drive the ball because our defense got a little too aggressive and wanted to be a little bit choppy out there. You're winning already. Keep playing. You don't want to let somebody start hitting you back harder than you're hitting them, but you already have the lead. So, like, you got to remember, maintain the lead, protect the team, and stay faithful because there is a process out there. But again, you want to be alpha, I get it, but you can be alpha and bite back or clamp back in the right way, pushing a guy out of bounds. And this is all hindsight too, or watching it, from someone else's eyes. That you're out of bounds, you should know where you're out. I did throw up the maybe the defense that the guy was going out of bounds, and sometimes when somebody's going out or you're running into somebody, you try to push off so you stay protected or like safe. But I don't know. He's just too he just got into the wrong position and he just reacted the wrong way. And then Moody kicked really well, surprised a lot of people. That there's been a lot of doubters in him and Purdy. Will Purdy be able to throw, and how's he going to hold up after getting hit? So then we go to the game with the Rams, and it was like both teams were doing the short game towards each other, and they were being efficient at it. But it didn't seem like our defense was, I don't know, maybe as noticeable or ferocious as they were before when with Kenny Pickett, we are getting hits. The Rams have a good O-line. They have a lot better of an O-line than people give credit to. And I think we had a show a couple of weeks ago. Maybe all three of us were together, but I know we were talking. And I believe I said that the Rams have the best O-line in the division. And it makes sense that they have the best O-line, or at least the best coaching staff to put together the best O-line. You went to the Super Bowl. You kept your pocket passer upright, and we all know what happens when the Rams lose Stafford. When his elbow's messed up or his back's messed up, the Rams aren't doing anything. But with him in the lineup under center, they're contenders. So with them coming in and just like really gutting us from underneath, taking all the 10-yard routes that they could get, and us just really giving up the short stuff to stay in contention or keep them back, playing like, I don't know, a little bit of prevent. It really just, to me, was just, it's a different game, compared to what Pittsburgh and our defense was. We weren't able to get to the quarterback because the ball was coming out too fast. There wasn't much of a run game from them at all. There wasn't a run game from the Steelers either, but we had more of a tackling effect, a hitting effect where the ball came out just too fast and everybody was just having to perform right away. So, yeah, definitely want to get your guys' thoughts as well. But I just think it was really two different games, and possibly because we played the Rams twice, they had a good response to our big victory against the Steelers.
Well, you're right about us playing kind of a prevent. I mean, we were playing zone and our defensive backs were off the receivers. But then they made an adjustment. Ambry Thomas actually went off the field, and they brought in Oliver, who, during the preseason, we're all going, why did they sign this guy? Like, is he? I didn't think he'd actually make the 53-man roster. And then all of a sudden, Oliver gets a one-handed, interception off a tip, and he runs up and tackle for loss in the run game. So yeah, okay, we had an Oliver sighting, but they started tightening up like Bryant says, the coverage in the second half. And I honestly want to see more man to man. We have Demo Lenore, we have Mooney Ward, we have Oliver, and he's an experienced, nickelback in the NFL. So let's see more press man to man. Let's get up in their faces, how physical of a team we are. I'm pretty sure we can make some things happen.
I agree with that 100%, man. See the press man coverage, that's what I was pulling my hair out for, because I was like, man, the defensive line has no time to get to the quarterback. That 1 extra second that it takes that receiver to get off the line is 1 extra second bought for the D line to get to the quarterback. No, Atwell, he's supposed to be the speedster. And so I understand, hovering over him and keeping some safety help over the top for that. But all in all, man, I think we're primed for man coverage. We showed here. D'Amico Ryan's dabbed his foot in that a little bit, and that was fun to watch. So just become a lot more balanced, and hopefully little by little we can start leaning into that man coverage a little harder and harder, and see how that carries us into later into the season. One thing I want to say real quick is I know some people are pretty surprised that I'm streaming on my channel again, right? I've been pretty busy with work. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Reason I streamed on my channel is because I had a little bit of free time for my buddies over here, so we can do a live stream. So pretty convenient. It's pretty awesome. But I want everybody. I started a poll. Please make sure you guys go over to these guys' channels. And if you want to know how it's spelled, just like it is in the poll on my chat, just look up those names and you'll find their channels. Subscribe to them, please. Like their videos. Tune in. I can't with my situation nowadays. Unfortunately, I had to put my channel down, but every once in a great while I will hop on, and I appreciate everybody who has joined and is supporting. Let's go support these guys now. And if I ever get the chance to come back to it full time, I'm going to go full force. That's a little tune into what's going on right now. Brian, you got anything on that, on what we're talking about right now?
Again, like we were saying, the defense did a little bit of an adjustment, and again, really thankful that you're here. We always have fun. I found you a long time ago. Your channel was starting out. David and me started hanging out with you, streaming. So you guys have seen us once or twice, maybe before in the past. We got channels, and if you guys like to subscribe, that'd be great. But we get Wolf on every once in a while, and when he can go live, he knows, hey, just send out the bat signal, and Brian and David are there. You can kind of guess who Batman is. I'm not going to say I'm Robin, but I'm not saying I don't tell my secret identities. But back to football. We had a great game. They did a little bit of an adjustment, and I think maybe when they told the guys to go, we did have a player switch out, and maybe that was different. Players on the field helped too, but we jumped the routes and we started getting picks, and the defense started getting a little bit more loose out there and a little bit more like adjusted to what these guys were doing. So they had that guy. What was his number? 17. He kept catching everything. I can't say his name.
Puka Nakua. Puka
Yeah.
Nakua. He's actually
Puka
a
Nakua.
local guy, a local boy for me. He was born an hour away from where I live, and he played at the enemy BYU. So yeah.
Hey, but BYU and they put out some good players. So
They do.
So it just we had the record. We had the record going into that with the rookie with the most catches in 2 games. It's okay. So we get to share the rookie record still. It came against us, but it'll be a time where we get another wide receiver, young guy that comes out and can catch a bunch. But yeah, once they made the adjustments, everybody else played great. It was the linebackers; they played great. They almost had an interception. Everybody played good. The one blemish, was Jake Moody kicking out of bounds. That wasn't cool, but he definitely has a strong leg when he is kicking off, and he can really put the ball back there. So the special teams coverage was better this time. They got down there a lot better and a lot faster. There wasn't big returns like there was in the Stewart game. So, I'm going to pump the brakes on Steve Wilkes just a little bit. I'm not going to say, he's a no-go, but I want to see what he can do. And I want to see him get more comfortable with it, because me and David was streaming on Corey's show yesterday together, and we were going back and forth, and then Corey's starting to do commentating for the games. So if you guys ever get a chance to go check out Corey on Sundays when the game's on, he does a live stream of the game, and it's a lot of fun. Corey, you guys see want to see something funny when the Niners need the ball back. Corey gets a little emotional there. True fan. It's a great watch. But I kept coming back in and out because I got the TV in their other room, so I'm coming back in and out, and I'm like, guys, we need to stop them. We need to hold them. And that was the mentality at the beginning of the game. Later in the game, it was, hey, these guys are jumping routes. They're they're taking chances, and they're not afraid to make mistakes. And we from there, it was over. The field goal at the end is kind of really, in my eyes, sure, if they did it for betting reasons or something like that, okay, I get it. But I think that was kind of embarrassing for the Rams in their sense. They should have tried for a touchdown, unless they truly believe there was no. They had 4 seconds. They should have tried for a touchdown for their dignity, for their fans. Going for a field goal, okay. I mean, if they would have missed the field goal, what would we be sitting here saying? The same thing. You should have went for the touchdown. Why kick a field goal? So, I don't know, guys. We've shut them out a bunch of times. They never have seemed to shut us out. And this is what, 7 in a row, 8 in a row now. So,
yeah, man. If they would have missed that field goal, a lot of people would have been happy because they would have won money. That was pretty ridiculous, man. That just screams rigged at that point. If it's all about pride and that's really what you're doing it for, you go for the touchdown, man. All or nothing.
Yeah, because if you would have went for the touchdown, right? If they would have got then they might have had 1 second left or 2 seconds left, or even more seconds. Just give them like 20 more seconds. They got the touchdown real quick, go for an onside kick, then you can force overtime. Yep. But go for the field goal, and then now the real scenario, you don't have time left. So you're going to go for the field goal to what? To make the score a little closer? Like, guys.
Did you guys see that badass Hail Mary the Broncos Commanders game?
Yeah. That
was nice.
And then they missed the 2 points.
Fucking buffoon, man. Yeah.
Dude,
go ahead, David.
But did you see the Hail Mary itself though? So Russell Wilson's around his own 47, he throws it. It maybe went 48 yards, I'm going to say. Then it was tip drilled and the receiver caught it. It was crazy. But he can't even get it to the end zone from the 48-yard line anymore. That's what I noticed out of this. That's what I noticed. He used to be able to just bomb those throws, but it's like, huh.
One thing I was noticing about that game was he had almost no time in the pocket. It seemed like. From what I saw, true. I didn't get to watch the whole game, but like that 2-point conversion, there was no time really. Even the Hail Mary, he was on the run when he threw that Hail Mary.
Hey, they signed that big money, right tackle, that PFF graded incredibly high.
Oh my God. That guy's a mark. Big floppy.
Oh man.
And then that was the other thing too. Guess perfectly suited right before that Hail Mary. Who gets called on a penalty? False start.
McGlinchey. Yep.
Just like old times. God, that guy pissed me off. I'm so glad he's gone.
Jeez. Hey, Colt McKivitz, he doesn't seem so bad anymore, does he?
Hey, Aaron Donald had nothing. He got blanked. McKivitz got a guy that couldn't run, couldn't speed rush around him, and he handled him. So, but the Steelers honestly showed the league how to handle McKivitz. You put your speed rusher on him. If you try going through him, that's not going to happen easy. You try going around him, that's a different story. So, hopefully our head coach notices that and schemes for it. 3-step, 5-step drop. Don't go 7. No 7-step drops, Kyle. No.
Yeah, man. That was one thing I didn't like about what I saw yesterday. The 7-step drops. Why aren't we not in the shotgun more often? I wish I had the numbers in front of me for how often we'd be in shotgun. Because that was something, Brock Purdy's a lot better at the rollout play action game than Garoppolo was, but still, shotgun is way more quarterback friendly than under center. So why don't we
Hey,
do
that's
that
something
more?
I noticed too. It's like Kyle started using the shotgun more last season when he had James Richard Garoppolo in there. And I mean the chat's popping. We got all kinds of people up in here. We got Steve-O, Damian Lee, Izzy, Melissa Rebel, Tommy Huxley, Randy Daytona. And there's a lot of more folk I'm probably not mentioning. We got this guy, I think I know him, Bryant Culp. We got this Scorpion 1276. You're probably on Wolf's channel. Thanks for coming though. I do appreciate you. 559er. And Crazy Juice is in the chat. What up, buddy? Steve-O, maybe, man, I want to hear I want to see Steve-O's opinion on this, though. Steve-O, what did that field goal at the end of the Rams game do to the betting line? He bets, so he might know a lot more about that than I do.
No, I bet yesterday too. That's why I knew. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, did you?
That's messed up.
But
That's
yeah,
effed up, man.
Steve-O bets, so I just want to hear what he thinks about it,
Yeah, that's cold-blooded, man. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. That's what we're doing now, huh? All right. All right.
Maybe McVay's wife had some money on the under 7, or I don't know. I don't know how that works.
See, and that's why I never even point. I can't even. I hardly ever even bet on the point spreads, just because of that stupid shit like that. I always bet the money line, right? Because it's just win-loss. Who wins, who loses. It's for that very exact reason. That's crazy. That's just blatant exposure right there. Seems like. But
well, Steve-O just put too much to type, so that there's a lot more to that field goal than I'm probably even thinking.
Yeah, read Melissa. Exactly. Bring Melissa's up right there above Steve-O.
Shout out to everybody showing the bros some love too. Thank you for doing that.
The one right above that one, David. Right above that one. Yeah, it makes sense that they went for it the way they did. So she was saying it was a bet on the over-under of 8. So if they kept it within 8 points, which by them kicking a field goal, it was a 7-point deficit. The fans, guys, were gone. The stadium was red. And then you seen all the empty seats. And then you seen blotches and blotches of red. It was just like somebody had thrown tomatoes or something all over the stadium. It was, or a bloody massacre. I mean, we took over their stadium. And it's just, wow. One more time down there at SoFi, it's, Levi South. Shout out to the faithful. I've been to the game. I don't get up. I don't lose. I don't lose out because we're losing. I stay there. I watch the full game. We went back to the 2014 game me and Tony went to. We missed 3/4 of the game. We go to the stadium. We're late. We're still standing there. We're watching Blaine Gabbert and the 49ers take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, we lost, but we still watched it. You know what I mean? Like, you go there for a reason, Now, sure, if you don't You want to leave? That's your prerogative. That's your choice. But like SoFi, it's got a brand new stadium. It's indoor. There's really no reason to rush out. I don't know, unless you're upset with the end results. And the end results was the Niners. We went into halftime and they only scored 6 points after halftime. We went up like 20 points. They scored 6 points. It's like,
Yeah. No, I see it all the time. I was telling David that I went to the Metallica concert over here at Cardinal Stadium on last weekend, not this past one. Same thing. It's just people want to get a leg up on the competition when it comes to getting out of the parking lot. Typically, but yeah, I'm that type of person too, where I'll just stay. I'll do the opposite. I'll stay longer and wait till everybody's off the field and stuff like that, and everybody's out of the stands. That way, I'm the last person to get to my car. That way, I have to wait less. Plus, there's always a chance that sometimes you'll see the bands come back out and just kind of hang out in the stadium. So I don't know. It's weird. I'm right there with you.
I just feel like you're cheating yourself if you leave early.
Yeah.
You can get out there. You can get out first. And strategically park, but you're either racing to get out of the stadium or you're racing to stay up. And I don't know. Like you're going to go have fun. You should drive home safe. Get home safe because you want to enjoy the next time. So.
Well, it's like those Broncos fans. Same exact thing was happening there. Everybody was leaving. Boom. As soon as half the stadium is gone, they hit that Hail Mary and almost send it to overtime. I bet all those fans would have felt really fucking stupid if Russell Wilson hits that 2-point conversion and sends it to overtime. Then they really miss out on their money's worth.
Exactly.
Then
Hey, Johnny,
everybody starts. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to just say, hey, Johnny Basement, thanks for coming. We are dragging
Wolf.
Hey, we are
Johnny
dragging
Basement. What's up, my guy?
We're going to get him out more often. Tonight's a rarity.
Almost forgot that.
Oh, we all better do it, right?
You guys need to wear your own hats for your own channels. Copying my style.
I know, right?
Oh no!
I actually bought a new hat, the new hat for the game that right now I have protected in the closet. Give me just a minute.
Nice. Like I always say, man, my recommendation is everybody go to lids.com. They got great deals, man. They'll put some really nice hats on clearance. Last year, one of the ones that comes to mind is the 2022 draft hat, and it $40 hat if you go to the store, but on Lids it was like $12.99. Then you could bundle a bunch of stuff they have on clearance. Yeah, that's a nice one.
I have a big head, so finding one that fits my head. The one I originally was looking at, the white, is actually gray. Because I have problems with white, keeping it clean. I try, folks. Yep. It's cursed.
You got to get some of that hat spray. You got to get the hat spray too, the one that waterproofs it and stuff.
That's if I'm correct, David, I think that's the new hat, the new team hat. I think they were wearing that in the game yesterday.
I hope so.
I think so. And
the one you always see Kittle take his helmet off, flip his hair back, and put a hat on. That's the one.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Brian's
But
right.
yeah, I bought that to wear to the game, so I don't because the Santa Clara is not a dome, and this dome don't need to get sunburnt. So
True story, man. Did you tell everybody the news?
Oh, both of us, our news.
Yeah.
So
about this week.
If you guys don't know, there's a lot of great channels out there. Wolf and David, we've been doing things for a while. I think you heard us say that before, but there's other great channels out there, and there's one called East Coast Red and Gold, and there's a fantastic show right there. There's 4 of them, and hey, if you guys pay attention, you'll definitely see more and more. Tony, my wife, she's got a channel. She does two things. She does a couple things with two of the ladies on that channel. Me and David, we do stuff with Ty Austin in the beginning of, like on Monday, we have a show with Ty and Aaron, but they got a great panel. There's Maddie, Bex, and Jess, and Ty Austin, and it's called East Coast Red and Gold. And what was really cool is they have they go to games, they travel, so there's other people like Wayne Breezy and John Chapman and Crystal Peachy. She also is on the Ladies of the Empire, my wife's channel, but they East Coast Red and Gold did something really cool. Jess wrote to the 49ers franchise, and she was able to talk them into getting 40 tickets. So there's 40 49er fans, me and David right here included, my wife as well, who will be going to the stadium this Thursday wearing our red and gold, our hats, and everything, our jerseys, everything we can, whatever 49er, and screaming our heads off. And we'll be meeting Jess there and the other people on the panel of East Coast Red and Gold and multiple other 49er content creators and fans that she's reached out to. So if you guys haven't had an opportunity to go to the stadium, it's a great opportunity. But don't think, oh, I can't go. There's opportunities out there. She wrote a letter to the 49ers, and they were, hey, we got 40 tickets for faithful fans, and we're going to be there. And hopefully, take a look around the stadium. You guys might see us there. We're supposed to have pretty good seats. I think they're field level. And I'm just super excited. David's coming. We're going to go to the game together. Going to have a lot of fun. Sometimes, you don't see things right away. Sometimes it takes a while to have a blessing or to get out of that dark tunnel. And if you keep driving, you keep walking, you keep going forward, guess what? There's light. And good things happen, and sometimes they don't happen right when you want them to. But you got to take every day with a positive look, because again, I didn't think we were going to get tickets. And what was really neat is I won tickets to the Bronco game a couple of weeks ago from East Coast Red and Gold. They had given away preseason tickets, and a couple of days later, she asked me, "Hey, do you want to go to the game? The opener?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I just won tickets from you guys." And I'm what are you talking about? Like, I'm now really confused. She goes on to tell me, and I'm like, how many tickets you got? So David's got a ticket, and a bunch of other people's got a ticket, and we're going to meet up. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
I didn't get a ticket. God damn it.
We're going to meet up for sure, though. It's going to happen. And when the three of us meet up, we'll be going live. We'll be doing something fun. And
hell yeah, man. I'll be looking for you guys on the Jumbotron when they put you guys on the Kiss Cam.
The Kiss Cam.
He will have his wife Tony there, so it's not.
Oh no. Oh, one thing I want to talk to you guys about real quick. We talked about the O-line a little bit, McKivitz. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Brock Purdy missing those throws. Sailing Deebo Samuel on that one. There's actually one that I don't see anybody talking about it. But Brock Purdy actually missed George Kittle for a wide open touchdown pass, walk-in touchdown up the seam.
Yeah.
That was another one. I think he tried to hit Jennings on that one. But that was one that he missed. So Deebo, Kittle, what was the other one he missed?
Jennings.
Jennings was another one.
And
so for me, what it's looking like is this. He's starting to get like that Jimmy G. After the CL tear from Jimmy G, or Jimmy G, or no, the tear, and then we go to the Super Bowl. Jimmy G, he doesn't make that deep pass to Emmanuel Sanders, right? And it just seems like the same situation where the next season Jimmy Garoppolo comes back and he's just super reluctant to throw deep, and when he does, it's way off the mark. It seems like Brock Purdy's having that same thing with the injury where he doesn't want to hold on to the ball too long, and so he doesn't put his body into those throws. He rushes it, and I think that's why. Because if he didn't feel that mental pressure, I think he'd be hitting those throws on the mark. We've seen it last year. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I think every NFL quarterback always seems to miss a play here and there. And Brock Purdy's still young. James Richard Garoppolo, when he was at that point, he was an NFL veteran, been in the league for years. He did not have as much of an excuse as Brock. But what I'm curious about is what's Brock going to do about it. You know, he's going to watch the film. He's going to see what happened. And next time they call that play, you know what he's going to be looking for.
Yeah, the thing about those throws too is his pocket seemed pretty clean. So what I'm kind of getting at is it's more his own mental pressure he's putting on himself to where it feels like he's feeling ghost pressure, like I feel Garoppolo did too, where these guys they can make the throws. You know, you put them in practice right now with no rush, they can make those throws easily, but they're rushing themselves. Right. Like I don't think Brock Purdy actually put his body into it. He made an arm throw like we know Jimmy would always do. And so I think that's why it was off the mark. You know, he didn't put his hips into it, his back foot into it, and got away from him. That's my thoughts. And then the one on Kittle, he just didn't even try that. He didn't see it because he felt pressure. Right. Because if man, it was plain as day, man. Kittle was gone for a touchdown. I'll be damned.
Yep.
Brian,
It's the truth. It's the truth. He was.
feel free to join us at any
What do you
time.
Well, you guys know I like to talk, and I'll talk. I'll talk as long as I can talk too. Sometimes I'm like, guys, jump in. But as far as the overthrows and stuff, I think it's gonna just come down to timing with him. He didn't have a lot of practice time. He was recovering from the elbow surgery. He didn't throw a whole lot with these guys. So just getting that rhythm down with him. Debo, he almost had Debo. The Kittle, I can't explain that one. The Jennings, I don't think he would have scored on it. And there was another one. I think it was Ayuk, but he just needs a little bit more timing. And one thing I like is he overthrew them, right? You know, you don't want to underthrow somebody, you know. So, hey, if we're at the 50-yard line and the dude can throw it, you know, and we can score, you know, by him maybe, you know, getting it to him in the 10, you know, and then walking in, you know, hey, that to me, that's 50-yard touchdown. I'll take it all day. I remember when Kaepernick, I think it was Kaepernick. No, it was Alex Smith, I believe. Alex Smith threw a 50-yard touchdown. Maybe it was Kaepernick, but they threw it to Randy Moss at the middle of the field, and he just ran it all the way up. Hey, that's cool too, but that's like yards after the catch. We all know we can do that with this team, but we want to see our quarterback throw it deep a little bit, and I think that was the difference with this team against the Rams. The Rams didn't seem to throw it deep at all against us, but we did take some shots, and I think that really helped the whole overall game because they're like, hey, Purdy's he can throw, so we just have to get a little bit more timing. And we know, you know, I don't know. It's like one of those things. It's like I'd rather see them attempt it and not get it, but get the defense a little bit more honest than not attempt it at all. But when it's like the fourth quarter, I know CMC's the man, and I don't want to see him get hurt. And if he says stay in the game and he wants to stay in the game, okay, coach, I understand it. But there's opportunities where we can pull some of these players. I know it happened in the Detroit game. You know, they came back against us a little bit, but sometimes you have to take that risk. And what happens if you lose your players? You need your other players to step up and be ready. So if it means it's a tighter game because you put your backups in, let's see it. I want to see Purdy, throw the ball down the field deep, but I also want to see him come out. I'd like to see Sam Darnold get in there. If you're only having him hand off, have him hand off. Have him hand off to JP Mason. Have him hand off to Mitchell. Let's see, them chew up the clock. Because one thing I did have a problem with is how long our defense was on the field. We didn't seem to get stops against the Rams. They were getting the first downs almost every time they threw the ball. It was the only time we were stopping them is when they were running the ball. They didn't have a serious rush game against us this week, but we weren't getting really quarterback hits. And that's a veteran quarterback coming out and playing against a talented defense, but knowing I got to get it out quick. So.
Oh, there's Lawrence who joined the chat too. But
I love that.
When it comes down to it,
go ahead, David.
Well, I'm gonna talk about the old days for a second. So you guys remember? Well, you're probably too young to remember. But
here we go.
Joe
Back
Montana
in my day,
and Steve Young. But Joe Montana and Steve Young, sometimes Bill Walsh and George Seifert, right off the bat, first play, they're calling a deep ball. And there's many reasons why they would do that. Hit it or miss it. Now you got the defense thinking, we got to cover that. The defensive coordinator thinking, I'd better, respect that deep ball. And now that opens up everything underneath and keeps them from bringing 8 guys in the box so you can run the ball. So, what I want to see out of Purdy, I want to see him work on his craft, because if he's able to hit, a 40, 45 yard pass down the field, it's going to make the defense have to respect that. And they're not going to be, at the line of scrimmage in our faces trying to stop the run and, play the short stuff. They're going to have to respect the deep part of the field. And, Purdy can throw deep. He showed that, but he just needs to work on his accuracy, and he can work on improving. He can improve that. He's still really young. So.
Yeah, man, those are great points. And I love Brian's too about making sure we're overthrowing and not underthrowing. I like that too, especially because of the narrative where Brock Purdy doesn't have arm strength. This isn't okay. Yeah, sure, whatever. But I mean, he's overthrowing these receivers, so he's telling everybody right now, well, these receivers aren't fast enough for me. Sorry. But yeah, I'm glad we came out with a win. It was really nice. One thing that I love about this game was also Moody. I think I actually said it on Brian's show. I was like, man, I really hope he's playing possum during this preseason. And sure enough, that's what it seems like. 57-yard field goal, man. Extra point after extra point. 30-yard field goals, 40-yard field goals, 57-yard field goals. And that 57-yarder had some sauce on it too, man. I wouldn't doubt he'd make a 61-yarder. So that's pretty damn cool, and I love that we got him.
It's so good to see, because now, if we need a 55-yard game-winning field goal, we know we have a kicker that can hit it. Robbie Gould, he was like, he never missed in the playoffs, and from around 39, 40 yards in, he was money. But once you start getting out there ways, and the one thing about Moody is, I think he tried to give it too much leg on that kickoff, that one that went out of bounds. I think he tried to give it too much. He was trying to he was trying to give it all the leg.
I think he did that on the last field goal he made because he slipped. Did you guys see that when Jake Moody hit that field goal, but he slipped?
Yeah, he did. He slipped at the end. Hey, what's your guys' thoughts? Yeah, I know you've seen it. So the Pittsburgh game, right? Timeout. What are they doing? Icing the kicker? What are they doing? Okay, so now Jake Moody's getting ready to kick, right? Automatically, you see it. They jump off sides. I think they planned that. They're like, we're gonna get in this dude's head. We're gonna rattle him. They jump off sides, block the field goal. Mitch Wisnowski, let's go, right? Aussie gets up and takes off running. Next thing you know, he almost gets the first down. I'm like, go, Mitch, go. Next thing you know, he come up really close. So I love the awareness, him grabbing the ball. Moody standing there like, it's coming back. But he's still, you can see he's, hey, go, Mitch, go. But he knew they jumped off sides. He seen it on the left side. They were coming across. Is he rattled? Nope. The boy knows, he had, when he was getting scouted by the Niners, they snapped the ball to him. It rolled across the ground. Boy still ran up and kicked it like a soccer ball, put it up through the uprights. It's like, hey, that's what we need. We need somebody who's fearless, can kick it, doesn't care what weather it is. And yeah, he's going to miss. He's a rookie. But at this point, I'm keeping score. We got 24 points from Jake Moody. Let's go.
Do you have his ratio? That's a great point. Do you have his ratio so far? Is he 100%?
Yeah, he's totally 100%. He's 6 for 6 field goals, and he's 6 for 6 PATs.
Dude, I
he
love
scored
that.
3 in the
Right.
first game, and then 3 PATs, 3 in this game, and 3 PATs. So yeah, money, Money Moody. That's what they
Yeah.
call him.
Hell yeah. I love it, man. I don't know if he was playing possum, but that's what I was hoping for in the preseason because I loved that we went in the third round and went after him, man. I love that move. I know it was frowned upon by most everybody, but I love that move. I know you guys
I
heard me
think he
say
was. I think he was playing possum. I think he wanted to give us content creators something to talk about.
He was the distraction for the Bosa talk. I mean, like, come on, Niners don't even have a kicker. They can't sign Bosa. They don't have a kicker. They need to get Robbie back, and
I
now
don't even think it was that. I think it was Kyle Shanahan more than anybody, right? I would think. Because especially since the Niners year in and year out, we get so many players poached off of waiver wires and stuff like that. But yeah, man, Moody. And then Brian, what you were talking about with CMC, 4 minutes left, up 10 points, man. Get him out of the damn game. What are we talking about here? I don't care who it is. JP Mason, TDP, Elijah Mitchell. I don't care. Just get somebody else out there.
I understand you're the beast, you're the bell cow, you're the closer, you're the one who can do it all. But we want you to do it all season. So come sit down, stand on the sidelines. This is the time to hold your helmet, get some pictures, smile. We're winning big, and let the other guys come in and come on. Let's there's enough of the rock to go around for everyone, right?
And then Kyle Shanahan, from a leadership standpoint, you're supposed to be daddy. Come here, son. Hey, CMC, come on, you're out. Come on, son, sit right here next to daddy. Watch the rest of the game. You earned your spot here.
Did you hear what he said? Kyle said, "Oh, I didn't know CMC was still in there." You're the one calling the plays, man.
This is not a big shocker, man. This is something we've talked about in the past. He's got his face dug into that damn play sheet.
He's like, "Oh, we got 11 people out there. I don't know what 11 there are, but there better be 11 out there, and it better be the ones I want, right?" So in his head, he's got the controller. He's not pulling CMC out. There's no reason to sub anybody.
With as big of an ego as that guy's got, man, the fact that he let those words come out of his mouth when he knows that everybody's going to make a complete joke of him for saying something so stupid from a head coach's standpoint. So I'm pretty surprised he let those words come out of his mouth.
Oh, wow. Hey, thanks, Bashar, for coming through. We see you. We got a Wolf sighting tonight. We got Wolf. And yes, we are going to be pulling him out as much as possible, getting him to, fire up his YouTube channel as well. But, hey, Bashar, looking forward to Thursday night. I know you are as well. And you said just hire an OC. We had an OC. He become a head coach. Come on, man.
Yeah, pretty much. And shout out to everybody, man. Thank you guys for supporting these guys. I know some of you guys joined in later, but yeah, thanks for hopping on these guys' channel and supporting. You're gonna very rarely see me, most likely, but when I can, I can. In the meantime, support these guys, and we all work as a tandem as well. So you'll see me around. But thanks, you guys, everybody who tuned in. Much love. Hope everybody's doing good.
Oh yeah. Anytime that there's an opportunity to go live and we can get you on, we're going to do it. We did throw the links in your channel. If you guys didn't see our names and you aren't subbed, we really appreciate it. Again, we do things with all kinds of people, but yeah, Wolf got us kind of started, and we always like getting Wolf on. So, guys, what's your thoughts coming up? Is the Giants a pushover, or do we need to be a little bit more like loose and carefree? Because I don't like playing the Giants. I don't like playing the Giants in the playoffs and the regular season. I don't like playing the Giants. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to do it. But there's been multiple times where something happened and it cost us a championship game, and not once. It's not happened once. It's happened multiple times. So again,
his name probably rhymes with Wild Killiams.
his and another guy, but the other guy we forgive him, right? He got a couple rings, but this team, guys, they were down what 28 to nothing, 21 to it was 28 to nothing, wasn't it? Or no, 21 to
I think it
7.
was 20. I think it was 28-7.
And then here comes the Giants, big old blue. I know not everybody likes Danny Dimes, but I think he's a pretty decent quarterback. I think he's a lot more mobile than people think. I think he's got a lot more talent than people expect him to have now as well. So, they got Waller over there too now. I think he wears what, number 12. So that's going to
Yes,
be
they have Darren Waller, but Saquon Barkley is day to day with a ankle sprain, so we don't know if he's actually going to play this
Yeah,
game.
at the end of the game, very end of the game.
And the Cardinals, they're not a good football team right now. So they were able to get up 28-7 on the Giants. And we are a good football team. So if we get up 28-7, they ain't coming back like that on us.
Hey, don't be jinxing us like that. Knock on wood. Brian too. Oh no. Yeah, man, I don't see it. But Darren Waller, I'm gonna call it right now. He's gonna get laid out by Fred Warner. I'm gonna call that one. He's gonna get smacked going over the middle. But I don't see it. Again, just like with the Steelers, you got to show it to me first. Great comeback. That was really nice. Kudos. But like Steve Wilkes said, we have to live where our feet are, 1 week at a time, one game at a time. Let's stack them, right? And everybody execute. Nick Bosa admitted last year they took the Raiders lightly. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I do believe them that they took the Raiders lightly, and look what happened. So let's not let them make this a game. Same thing that happened with the Lions as well. Let's just let's take care of business like we did with the Steelers, finish out the game strong. Let's get CMC out of there at the end.
Did you
Let it
guys
be
get to
that
watch?
kind of game.
Did you guys get to watch any of the Raider game the other day?
Yeah,
I
very
watched
little.
a little bit of it, and the Raiders.
Yesterday,
Yeah,
Bills.
yeah. The
A little
Raiders
bit.
defense looked really good to start the game off. Looked really good. They were shutting Josh Allen down. He's my fantasy quarterback, so I'm like, all right, I might not be starting you next week. And then something happened with the penalties, and then he got the ball down at their end, in the red zone, and then here goes the Bills, right? But Jimmy took them down the field, first scored a touchdown, and of course, Jimmy throws interceptions. We know that, but there was a play, and they threw the ball. I believe the Raiders stepped out of bounds, and they picked up the flag, and the Raiders were mad because it was supposed to be like a pass interference call, and it got nullified the first down. And then here you go. Then the Bills come storming, and I mean the score didn't look like what it probably should have looked like, because there's those plays in the game where it just changes everything, right? But the Raiders, it's like, wow, the Raiders could be a lot better than people think this year. And I'm not going to say it's because of Jimmy Garoppolo. It's just different locker room mentality. It really is. Carr went down to New Orleans, and he looks like he's doing great too. Sometimes people just need, separation.
Yeah, who won that game, and who won both of the games?
I believe the Saints won the first game, if I'm correct. I didn't catch the Browns game. We started talking in that game.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually looking at that right now. I could turn my TV on, but I don't want it screaming at us.
No.
There's this crazy thing. It's called the mute button.
Oh, the Steelers. The Steelers won 26-22.
Okay. Over Deshaun.
Wow.
Baby.
Divisional game.
That's another W on my pick'ems. That's a W on my pick'ems.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's an L this time. I did pretty good last week. I went 10-6. This week I think I didn't go 6-10, that's for sure, but I didn't do 10-6.
I hope you guys are putting your money where your mouth is and doing the game parlays.
Oh no, we're having fun on Corey's show. Every Wednesday we go on Corey's show and do the weekly pick'ems. If you guys haven't been or ever want to, come on and Corey will record your scores. We do it with a group of guys, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, the Giants guys, I think we're going to have a lot closer of a game than people are expecting because the type of team they are. They're built
It's an
a lot.
NFL. It's an NFL football team. You just don't take any
Yeah.
team in the NFL lightly. Even the Houston Texans that just don't look good right now. You don't. You never know
Yeah.
when they're going to come out of their shell. And the thing I'm glad about when it comes to the Giants is they're not a wounded animal backed into a corner. They just won a game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That makes it
A hard fought one too. Hard fought one. Now they got to come here on a short week. Time to pounce, get that blood in the water. But yeah, I mean, like you're saying, as a fan, I can totally underestimate them. But any given Sunday, right? That's why we still watch the games as much as we underestimate them. But I think the Niners are going to handle business, hopefully. Now, I want to talk about something real quick with you guys. I think the 49ers or made Nakua look a little too good. I think he got way too much hype for what he did.
They gave him too much space.
Yeah, 100%. Like I put it on a super chat on Grant's channel. I said my grandma could have caught, with the soft coverage that the Niners were playing, my grandma could have caught all those passes. She could have ran all the same routes and been wide open because they're all playing like 8 yards off at least. That was crazy, man. I really did not like that. So I'm hoping they play press. They learn their lesson from this one, and I think it's going to be a whole different game, and he's going to be invisible the next one. Unless maybe, Cooper Kupp's back and that kind of changes things, but I don't know.
It was neat that he was taking all the underneath stuff. And if Cooper Kupp does come back, it's kind of interesting to see if they have a deep threat then. But for right now, he was their only option. They tried to throw it to their tight ends a couple times. That didn't work out. And again, I think it was just our scheme. They were saying, okay, go ahead and give them the underneath stuff. And if you guys get a chance to pick them, you jump. And we should have came away with 5 picks. We came away with 2 there or 3 there? 2. Came away with 2. And so right now we're 5 on the season because we had 3 in the first game. So no sacks. That helps. When you have sacks on the opposing quarterback, they can't throw the ball as fast. And he had a lot of time in the pocket. Again, the Rams have a good O-line. Our D-line was still making pressure. We were pushing pressure and pushing the pocket on him. He was just getting the ball out fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Took a page kind of out of Kyle Shanahan offense.
Yeah, man. I don't think he's as good as the defense, the way it was schemed up, the way the defense was schemed up to be. I don't think he's as good as they made him look. Would you guys agree with that? What do you guys think?
He took advantage of us being so far off for sure.
Yeah.
And I really hate it because we had the record and he breaks the record on us. We had the record since 1980. I think that's what it said. So
yeah, I'm feeling pretty disrespected this season, man. Kyle Shanahan trades Trey Lance to the Cowboys, and then we're just letting
we haven't even talked about that, have we?
Yeah. Then we're letting these little rookies break 49er records. We're just letting them do it. Like, do we have not any respect for as big of an ego as Kyle Shanahan has? We don't have any respect for the past for 49ers as a franchise. What's going on here?
Yeah, the whole Trey Lance to the Cowboys thing, it's well, why them? Because they were offering the best pick. Dude, if they weren't getting off the phone until they traded for him, ask for more. And the Cowboys. So I'm just going to keep a watchful eye on the kid and see what happens. If he ends up being their franchise QB, and hopefully Brock Purdy ends up being our franchise QB, and then it's like, okay, it's kind of a mulligan at that point, you know. But
Yeah,
if
man.
Trey Lance ends up being great and Brock Purdy ends up being good, then it's like, you know, it's 100% Kyle's fault for not developing them.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how this contract situation plays out with Purdy. Because regardless of how we win and everything, I don't think you could give him an elite quarterback contract. I don't think it could be a game-changing contract. I think the structure still needs to be the same of really good team with a good ball distributor that would be cheap. I still think that Trey Lance has the tools to be that guy, man. With his his IQ test, the quarterback IQ test that he had, that was super elite prior to being drafted. I think he has all the tools, man, and he was finally putting it all together with playing time. That's a scary dude to go against, I think. So I'm not looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
It's really upsetting.
Well,
Yeah, we don't know really what was all said in the meeting, the office. But for him to say, I don't want to be your third string quarterback, I'd rather be another team's third string quarterback. There was a divorce or there was a divide. Maybe it already happened and this was just the melting pot. But it took them it sounded like it happened Wednesday, or it could have possibly happened Tuesday, but it sounded like it happened Wednesday. Thursday they were looking for suitors. There was other teams that were going to offer us stuff like the Bills. There was other teams that was interested in them, but Dallas said we'll take the whole contract and we'll give you a fifth. So we took a fifth, or was it a fourth? I'm sorry, I think it was
Fourth,
a fourth. Okay.
it was a
Um,
fourth. It was a fourth.
it doesn't make any sense to me, guys. It really doesn't. Unless you think that the guy really isn't going to amount to anything, to trade him to a team that we have to play this year. First off, he's going to go and tell them our defense. He can totally just run through our whole offense to their defense and say, hey, this is what they like to do. This is what this player likes to do. That he's totally going to be able to just expose us. Then on top of that, we do play them this regular season. We'll probably have to play them in the playoffs, whether or not he plays or not. But I really truly think they're going to take Trey. They're going to have him tell everything about the 49ers that they can possibly say. And then next year, they're going to trade him. I think the Cowboys are taking him for this year. And I'm hoping he leaves the Cowboys because I don't want to see him on the Cowboys. I like him being a 49er, but he's not coming back to the Niners. But I really don't want to see him in Dallas. And it's just really weird. So now there's all this speculation that the Jets, now that the Aaron Rodgers, thing, he might have experimental surgery and come back. But, you got to look at it two ways. If you're a rookie quarterback or, Zach Wilson takes you as far as to the playoffs, are you really pulling Aaron and saying, go ahead, go in there, guy, now that your ankle's taped up and ready to go? No. So the new news, wild rumors today, Kirk Cousins to the Jets. So if that happens, is Trey Lance going to the Vikings? There's obviously opportunities for Trey to go somewhere else. And this is just wild, but I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to the Jets, but I don't think he's going to be a Viking next year. I think depending on what Brock Purdy does this year for the Niners will depend on how much he gets paid, if he's still going to be the Niners quarterback. Because if he gets hurt, we might just, heaven forbid he gets hurt, but then they'll say, hey, we need somebody who can stay healthy. They'll go get a veteran or they'll go get another player in the draft. So just whatever happens with Brock this year. And again, I like what you were saying about, the contract, because I think he's a down-to-earth kind of guy. I don't think he realizes, I don't think he doesn't realize, but I don't think he can ask for the Patrick Mahomes money or the Justin Herbert money. But he deserves to be paid. And I think if he does go to the Super Bowl and win with the Niners, yeah, let's pay the guy. But right now, like you're saying, keep the team where we can manage. And I think if he does the Tom Brady effect where, hey, I keep my price down, we can win a bunch of rings. You can't take rings away, and people will
There you go, man.
later. So,
and he does have that winning mentality, man, which Bosa lied about. I'd like to point out as well. Talking about a team-friendly deal, my ass. But another thing with this cap situation too, man. Or I don't know, David, did you want to touch on any of that? Sorry. You're muted. Uh-oh. Okay. I'll see when he comes back in. But with the cap situation, I'm expecting them to sign Ayuk sooner than later. That's what I would hope. Now, I don't know if Ayuk's just going to bet on himself and say, just kind of hold out on that and say, no, I'm just going to bet on myself, see how this season goes. I've been pretty consistent about staying healthy and being pretty big and available in games. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. But if I'm the 49ers, I'm trying to get that contract done now with the cap space that we have. Not only that, uh, if the 49ers end up 4-5, if we end up 5-0, I'm going to call 5-0. I think by week 6, we're making a big splash play in free agency or a trade, I should say.
You back, David?
Mute.
We can
All
hear you.
right. Can you hear me now? But so at this point, we'll see what happens with Trey Lance. There's some things like, for example, our QB3 doesn't get reps. The QB2 is the guy that runs the scout team in practice. Our QB3 just doesn't get reps. And that's what he needs. He's going to get reps in Dallas being QB3. And it's sad to see him go, giving up all that draft capital. It's egg on Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's face. It straight up is. If Brock Purdy ends up being the guy, wins a championship, takes us to the Super Bowl, but doesn't put up those elite numbers, how much does that make him worth?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, I mean, what did Herbert sign? What was it? 55 million a season, 60 million a season, something like that. And he's, hasn't proved anything. So what does that make Brock Purdy worth? Would it be 40, 50 million? Steve-O made a good point in the chat. And, there's that narrative that Kyle wants to keep a young QB that's on a rookie contract so he can have this team around him. And if that's the case, then Brock Purdy's going to get probably traded, but, and we're going to end up drafting another guy. And we'll see how all this plays out.
Right back in the same boat. It's kind of like you need me as much as I need you type of situation. I feel like.
Back. I know this is all over the place, but Randy Daytona made an excellent point about the Rams game. Matthew Stafford was getting the ball out in 2.3 seconds. The pass rush didn't have time to get there.
Not when you don't dial up blitz packages. Of course not. How fast did Warner get to him?
Your defensive backs are playing off, giving them space. That also doesn't help.
Yeah, when you press, that buys the defensive line at least another second to get to the quarterback. If you're pressing correctly, jam them at the line. Plus, you can knock them off their routes. But what do you guys think about Ayuk, man? I definitely think we should sign him sooner than later if we have that opportunity. I think Brock Purdy. If you ask me now, my crystal ball scenario, I would probably say he gets at least 2/3 of what the highest paid NFL quarterback would get. 2/3, maybe 3/4.
So that would be about 40 to 45 million range.
And I think that'd be
Herbert,
ideal.
I think Herbert makes 60. I think he's the highest paid right now.
See, and when the salary cap goes up too as well, that's going to help us out. Because as it stands right now, we still got time for sure. But even then, if Brock Purdy wants to go somewhere else because the 49ers aren't giving him what he wants, if another team wants to give him, if they want him, it's probably just going to be for a marketing ploy because he's not the most athletically gifted quarterback, but he's great at execution for sure.
Yep.
Hopefully we could dial in those
He
long
does
passes.
have some wheels. He does have some wheels. He can take off if he needs to.
Yeah, he's savvy, man. Yeah. I love him as our quarterback. He's awesome.
I don't think Brock Purdy really could go to a better team. I think if he decides to leave, they got to really be paying him the bag. And what team would he really want to go to? The only one I could think of is there's two. The Cardinals. Why would you want to go there now? You're playing against the 49ers. They're going to come with vengeance every time they see you. The other team would be the Dolphins. And,
I don't know about that one.
Well, why is he wearing 13? Who's his favorite quarterback?
Yeah,
right?
That's very true.
He likes Marino. Okay, so I mean that would be the only other team I could see him like wanting to leave this dream situation for him.
Mhm.
Now, sure, he wants to get paid, but they got to adjust that. You got to go win a Super Bowl first. You're still on a rookie contract. He's going to be on his rookie contract for what? 2 more years?
Good question.
Or is this going to be like his? If he shines out this year, do we have to pay him, or can we? So I think BA, he's our true number one wide receiver. Debo is our offensive weapon. You cannot replicate Debo, but Ayuk's a true wide receiver. If you move off of Ayuk, you have to have a plan. And I don't think they have a plan right now. Like Ayuk is like Adams, right? Ayuk is very good. He's a wide receiver. Debo is more of just a football player. You give him the ball, he's just going to make something happen.
Mm-hmm. Hence the touchdown.
I think that Peterson, it was Peterson last game against the Steelers, and Debo tried to catch the ball, and Peterson almost jumped the route. I think if it would have been Ayuk would have boxed him out better. I think he would have done, a better job running the route. But again, I don't want to get rid of Debo. If Ayuk wants to leave, where would Ayuk want to go? Obviously somewhere that has a good quarterback, right? And if I was Ayuk, the only team I'd want to go to is the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, I don't think KC's the same team they were last year. The Jaguars, I like Trevor Lawrence, but he had some shots in the end zone, and if they would have scored. I mean, the Chiefs didn't blow them away. It was so. Guys, I think we got a good shot at the Super Bowl this year and winning it.
I agree, man. I smell blood in the water. That's why I'm saying if we get past week 5 and we're 5-0, I think the Niners are making a big splash move, at least one. Reason being is Cardinals, that's going to be week 4. I don't think that's too big of a, what's the word for it? Litmus test? What's the word for it?
I think you're right.
The Cardinals is not a big gauge.
Yeah.
Great team to gauge yourself against. So I think when we get into the other one that's supposed to be a top dog in the NFC, supposedly, the Cowboys would be week 5. If we get past them and we're 5-0, especially the way it looks, I think it's game on. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch say, hey, let's get this shit rolling. Get somebody in here. We need another cornerback. What else? What else would it go? What would be the other position we go for? Right tackle? Or would it be too late? Because I think that's a good one to go for.
Honestly, we have a first and second round pick this next year, and a slew of compensatory picks. And I mean, I don't know. Right now, I think it's 12 plus in picks in the draft. So if we're gonna get a tackle, we could trade up and get one of the better ones in the draft. Just don't get the McGlinchey type guys. That's all I ask. Don't get another McGlinchey.
Pass protection first. That's what I would say.
Hey, guys, we were talking about last year this time last year when McGlinchey came in and he was undersized, and we're like, guy looks like he went on a vegan diet or something. He was just you're supposed to be blocking
grass fed.
Like he looked like oh my god, our offensive lineman, like he looks like a very skinny basketball player. You know, I mean, like, what's going on here?
I don't
It's
think that was
college.
totally his fault, man. I was the one of the guys. I don't know if you guys remember. I was like, "Hey, man, this is way too soon for McGlinchey," and he sure showed me because he actually played pretty well considering the circumstances. That's the thing, the circumstances. Coming back from injury and being rushed onto the field almost immediately with what 2 weeks of training camp, 2 weeks of preseason, and then it was regular season, and he's out there. So that was pretty crazy to me. So he performed well under those circumstances. But for me, that's why I say pass protection first. If, of course, you want a really great, balanced right tackle that can do really well in both. But for me, pass protection is the most important because we traded Trey Lance. We don't have that. We don't have as strong as of a quarterback room as we did when Trey Lance was here. So if something happens to Brock Purdy, knock on wood, man, who knows where we go from there. And I think Sam Darnold, I think he could do pretty good, honestly. But I'm not willing to bet on it either.
Well, you know what the fun fact about Sam and Jimmy and Brock are, right? David, you want to tell them what the fun common fact about those three guys are?
Oh, you mean James Richard Garoppolo, Brock
That's
Richard Purdy, and Samuel Richard Darnold?
really
I don't know. If
Yes.
I ever see Kyle face to
no
face, I'm
way.
gonna ask him, do you have an obsession with QB's middle name or Richard or something?
Dick lover. He has a dick obsession.
If you know a Richard, you know they can be also known as a dick. And
Yep.
I mean, hey, if you know a Richard, you've definitely called them one. So,
Hey, Dick, get over here.
yeah, it's just one of those fun things. Hey, everybody has a breakdown of their name, and a cute way of having a clever
Brock,
short
Dick,
name.
Purdy, Big Cock Brock.
Oh, so BCB doesn't stand for Big Cock Brock anymore either. It's now Big Captain Brock because now he has that C on his chest. To tell
Here
you
we
what,
go.
Nah,
that's the other thing that we haven't really talked
oh, come on. It's always gonna be Big Cock Brock.
about. So this year
no.
we got they did a little change up. Last year there was four defensive players that were captains. This year they swapped it to four offensive players. So right now we are looking at Brock as our new captain, Debo as our new captain. Trent is coming back as a returning captain, and so is George Kittle. So those are your four on offense. And then your two on defense is Eric Armstead, and it is drum roll, yabba dabba doo, Fred Warner. So that's your six captains. And I don't know why they didn't put CMC in there. And Juice, I'd always love to see Juice as a captain. And it's just a little weird that we don't see Bosa. Maybe it was due to his contract signing because they announced the captains the day before his contract was officially announced.
Well, the players vote on the captains, and Bosa wasn't present, so you can't get voted on if you're not there, right?
That's a good point. How
Math
can
is
you
done.
vote if you're not in the locker room at the time, right?
Yep.
The one that really pisses me off is Brandon Ayuk, man. Why the hell is he not named a captain? I do not understand that at all. We made an extra slot, I think it was last year, and they brought it back down to what is it now? 7 captains this year? Or
It's
did you say 8?
6.
Oh,
I
6?
think it's 6. We had 7 last year.
Yeah. So I don't understand why the hell Brandon Ayuk is not in there as a tone setter for the team. It's pretty ridiculous to me. He's been a workhorse year in and year out since he's been here, man. Ever since his rookie year, they leaned on him to be a playmaker when everybody went down. So I don't know. That's crazy to me. But once he gets paid, which I'm pretty sure he will, I don't think the Niners are going to let him slip away. I don't think so, and I really hope not. But apologies to everybody as far as the comments go. We didn't really touch on too many of the comments, but we still love you guys.
I've been keeping an eye on it. It kind of went south a little bit here and there. So it's
as Niner fans do. 'Tis the season. 'Tis the season, man.
We're gonna do this as much as possible when life permits. You'll see Wolf going, you'll see me or David going. Again, we all try to do things together. Really do appreciate everyone's friendship here, but you
except for go to Thursday night football games together.
Yeah, buddy.
We're not getting matching tattoos or anything, okay? Like we're
You guys want to go do karate in the garage?
I thought we were, Brian. What's up with that?
Yeah, what the hell, man?
You guys know Kyle and
big SF around the nipple.
Kyle and Sims have but no, Wolf, one day we'll meet up. We'll be doing the same thing. The three of us will go to a game here soon. And we're gonna do it again. Guys, keep looking out for us. We're gonna go live again. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing to everybody's channel. If you haven't, we appreciate you. You never know, you might see us on one channel and not the other. So turn the notifications on. It's been a little bit over an hour. You guys, we're probably gonna get it going because these guys gotta go to work. I gotta go to work. You gotta pay those bills. And in a couple days, you're gonna see us all again. So thanks for coming. Go Niners and stay faithful, everyone.
I'm planning to be at the Niners Cardinals game here in Glendale. So if anybody wants to come out and join, let me know. Niner gang.
Dion will be there. Wayne Breezy will be there. So definitely.
If anybody wants to be in a 49ers Cardinals. Oh, no.
But yeah, I'm going to be at the game Thursday. First game ever, folks. First 49er game ever I've ever been to.
I'm excited. First.
We're gonna be what on close to one of the end zones, field level, and I don't quite know what that means yet, but I am definitely hoping that we're on the field and I get ran over by Debo. I'm hoping.
Hey, you know what? You're gonna break up one of Debo's fights like that other guy.
Sure.
You saw that, right, Brian? Brian, did you see that?
I didn't see that.
There was a fan. I forget who Debo was getting in a scuffle with in the back of the end zone, and one of the fans tried to break it up. It was super funny, man. It's awesome to have that story, and it was all caught on camera.
I'll go look for it. If you guys get a chance, go and look at the Bump Box theme song when they were coming out of the tunnel. They stop at the end of the tunnel, right? And you got Debo and Trent both dancing, right? And I think it was Spencer Burfield. And I look over and I see a 4. And anytime I see a 4, I'm like, is that Jake Moody? You know who was dancing? Sam Darnold was over there dancing. I was like, Tony, because that's my wife. She's like, let him dance in the tunnel. Like, no, we need him on the field too.
Oh no, yeah, man, go check it out. They asked Debo about that. What happened with the fan too? He said it was pretty cool.
All right, I'll definitely check that out, guys. Thank you again for coming, and again, stay faithful, and we'll see you again here soon.
Niner gang.
Go Niners, and always F the Lambs.
100%.